morning, everyone. A little late today, sorry about that. We had a weird little experience happen in the garage. The trash had started smelling bad, and then this morning Matt noticed it, which means it got really bad. He's the person who brings the milk over to me and says, does this smell bad? Because he can't smell it. So when he starts smelling, things are really bad. So I went out there, and yes, indeed, it was awful. Adults among us who have ever dealt with trash and trash baskets and putting them out on the curb, water had gotten in there. The thing seals up pretty tight, which is really nice, but sometimes they leave the things open, and a spring shower or morning shower will get some water in there. And then you put trash in it, not realizing what's going on, and then in the end, it just gets rancid and it smells terrible. I went out today and I got some baking soda and some Clorox bleach in a spray that smelled like fresh sheets, if you know what fresh sheets smell like. So I went out and doused the entire thing in the box of baking soda, which immediately cut the smell down to 75%. And as it was absorbing all of the terribleness, I sprayed the Clorox in there, and that seemed to make everything much better. Clorox in and of itself has its own kind of weird chemical smell to it. Turns it into a kind of fresh sheets out of a dryer that you've put Febreze in. You know, it's not natural smelling. It's not natural smelling in the least, but. So I've got Smorey Time. I felt like marshmallows this morning, so we're gonna do some Smorey Time. This is marshmallows and chocolate, and it's toasted, and then there's a hint of sweet graham cracker, which, the weirdest thing, there is a hint of sweet graham cracker in that flavor. It's almost cinnamon. It's almost a little hint of cinnamony kind of flavor. It's very nice, but the number one, the marshmallow is great, and number two, I love the fineness of this grind. Someday I'm going to have a grinder that might be able to do that. That's almost beyond fine, though. I mean, that's beyond medium fine, it seems like. That almost seems like almost espresso, almost. But then again, I've never really handled espresso personally. I've only ever drank it, so. So trash taken care of, no problem, all done there. So, but that's why it's running a little late today. Anywho, here we are, still in Pride Month. Strangely enough, it's another couple of weeks of June. We're still at the very beginning, which is very, very good. So yesterday I made mention coming out to my mother at the point that I told her it was 20 years ago. Matt and I have been together for 21 years this year. It's been a wonderful 21 years. It continues to be a wonderful 21 years. We continue to learn new things about each other. We continue to explore new places, like last February when we went to Colombia, Medellin, Colombia. Never thought I would ever do that. Totally did it. Went to Puerto Rico last year. That was the most fabulous, wonderful time I think I've ever had on a beach. Puerto Rico is beautiful. Vieques is absolutely fantastic. Love both of those places. Had a wonderful time at both of those places. So, you know, we continue on, and we continue on in a way that for some people I've watched last 21 years doesn't seem to match up with how they feel. We're always excited to do stuff, and we always know when we don't want to do stuff. So it's, I think that we have a very good relationship. We moved in together still about 21 years ago, maybe 20 years ago now. That story is a fun story. We actually met at the downtown Pride Parade. It was an incredibly interesting series of circumstances that not only brought us to meet each other, but allowed us to continue. And we still have the pieces of paper up on the wall where we exchanged phone numbers that Pride Day. Phone numbers and email addresses, they're still up on the wall underneath our photo. So we both saved those. The coming out circumstances was kind of weird because Matt had moved in with me, and my parents knew that Matt had moved in with me because I told him, I said, you know, I've got somebody moving in with me. He's looking for a job down here. He lived in another place and he wants to find work down here. He does computers, so, and they're like, cool. And my apartment was one bedroom. So, and I will say, after my apartment burned down in 99, I moved into another apartment close to friends, and my best friend moved in with me at a certain point, and it was a one bedroom, but we had two separate beds in a fairly decently sized bedroom. Bedroom wasn't that small. We both had twin beds in the bedroom, so it's not unheard of that this is a thing. However, in this case, it was a little weird because my parents had no idea who this person was. So it just one day I said, Matt and I are together. Okay. And, and I said, and I am gay. And she said, well, I kind of figured that. And I'm like, I hate that. I don't want it to be a surprise, but then again, I don't want it to be mundane and boring either. I mean, who wants that? I mean, it was that simple, and I am very, very, very fortunate and very privileged to have a family that, that was their answer. Okay, yeah, no, we know. Good for you. And Dad hugged Matt, and my best friend of 45 years, my dad hugged Matt, and then my best friend said, your father has never hugged me. I'm like, that is hilarious. I don't care who you are. That is hilarious. So, but Dad has hugged him. I remember that. I remember when we moved in together, Dad hugged him and said, please take care of each other. Because it's just how he kind of is, And he was he's been the same way with Matt, which is really kind of nice. I didn't know how that was going to go over, but everything exceeded my wildest expectations, and my nightmares of what could happen didn't. And that's probably the best outcome. Trying to get 500 in here. I think I've done it before. Was the best outcome that could have happened. And I know there are a lot of people out there whose experiences are not similar. And it's, you live under constant fear, and I am so sorry. And if I could be there to be that uncle that you could talk to and that could offer you shelter, I wish I could be. And there are many people like me with that kind of empathy who are able to do that and who do that. And I think that that's wonderful, and it makes me very happy. But like I said, there are so many people out there, adults, not just children, and, coming out late in life. I mean, I came out when I was 26, which isn't late in life, but for emotional growth, I should have been out in college. High school was a lost cause, but college, there were so many opportunities for me to be me, and I was me, but I wasn't the entire me. And, I regret that. Another funny story, I came out to my best friend, Matt and I had moved in together, and we were just driving around. He still lived in Columbus at the time, and we were driving around, for some reason. And I just told him out loud, I said, I am gay. And he said, yeah, I kind of figured that, which, again, I don't even know why I bother, but I do know why I bother, because I want them to understand that I am comfortable around them. And, I want them to know that not only do I love you, I want you to be a part of my life, and this is my life. So let me tell you about it. So, and that was really cool. I didn't think anything, would come of it poorly. I am also mark myself very lucky that I have not really lost any friendships. I've not lost any family because of it. So I am incredibly fortunate, and I know a lot of people out there are not that fortunate, and it makes me very sad. And all I can do is continue to work towards a future where you will be. You don't even have to say it. You don't have to say it. It's just, here's my boyfriend. Cool. Here's my girlfriend. Cool. Here's my partner. Here's my dearest friend. Here, just that kind of a thing. Unfortunately, I don't know the vernacular for, any relationships beyond men and women, other sounds very horrible. So, here's my insignificant other. Taking this from Elaine Boozler, a significant other just sounds like you're about to sell them papers. Here's some legal papers. My significant other. So that is my story about coming out to my mother. It's not as dramatic as some, thank heavens. I am very fortunate in that. So, and if you feel like leaving your story, I open up my comment section to you, and you have a lot of words to type. Even if you've put it in word form, on YouTube before, link it down below. Just, go for it. I'd be very interested, no matter how traumatic it was. And if it's too traumatic and you can't share it, that's just fine. But if it's traumatic and you want to share it, then that's fine too, because there are other people out there who could benefit from knowing they're not the only ones who are going through a traumatic time with family and friends. They could use your support. Anyway, coffee's ready. I'm gonna do it this way. Looking at it, I mean to take it off. I may have filled it up too far. Hang on, let's see. Are we right up to the chip? I think we are. Whoa. Now that's pretty cool. And it smells so good. Smorey Time is just such a great smelling coffee. So chocolate, so marshmallow. And the coffee. Oh, the coffee. Coffee is really good, but this medium roast, man. Marshmallows and graham crackers and chocolate. How on earth can you go wrong with that? Unless you're allergic to one of those things, then there's a lot of ways that could go wrong. However, oh, so good, so tasty. Next week, I'm going down to visit my father. It's his birthday next week. I'm going to go buy him 12 Krispy Kreme donuts, and I'm going to take him down. I'm going to surprise him, and I'm going to give them donuts, and then hang out with them all day, and then probably a little bit on Wednesday. So Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll try to come up with something, but I will not be here to do a coffee on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday there will be something, but as of right now, I'm going to spend some time with my dad for his 76th birthday, and we're going to see how that goes. Anyhow, I hope you have a great weekend. Have some coffee for me. We'll talk to you later. Bye.